Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of All About You. In today's video, we are going to go over a top 8 placement of Golden Freeza. Yes, I said Golden Freeza. So, introduce yourself and talk a little bit about the deck, your day, matchups. Yeah, go for it.
So, this is my version of like a control deck in this game, which there are very little of. You don't really attack the first few turns unless you have to until your leader. You try to just clear their board out as much as you can and just build up a defense until you can kind of just go all in on one turn. Most people hurt themselves a lot in this game, so you don't have to do much. The matchups today I played against were two Victory Strike Gokus. They can't really deal with this. I played too many blockers, and they just lose to not being able to get in on you, and you have a better turn 5 than they do. Plus Bloodlust is ridiculous.
Oh, that's great.
You have, I played 2 Hurudagans today. I beat one of them, and I lost the second one.
You played against basically 2 of the exact copies.
Same, yes, they were both blue-yellow Huragan swap. They're really rough to deal with. You cannot make a mistake at all. You really need your Nimbuses. If you do not have like 3 to 4 Nimbuses, you are not getting to
the later
turns. On the plus, they do majority of the work for you, put themselves to 2 or 1 by that turn. So you should be able to finish them off at that point. The other matchup I played against was a mirror deck, and honestly, I dropped the ball in it just because I forgot like half the green cards existed because nobody uses them. And Full Power Energy is a really rough card against this deck if you don't play around it. So that really screwed me. I lost to it. I think I could have won if I was paying attention.
Pretty sure you would have won, yeah, because he could have just used Freeza's effect, use it, get the draw, the restand energy, and then basically it would have been almost ineffective.
So this leader is very good in you sack a Freeza army. It has to be Freeza army. You untap 1 and you draw 1. On the flip side, it's untap 2, draw 1. He is a draw 2 leader because he's from set 1 before they even thought about doing anything else. He has not a lot of support because it's all not out yet, but hopefully there's more coming soon.
Definitely. Actually, in set 5, we have a good portion of stuff.
Yeah, but there's the theme set.
With the Broly.
No, the set 6 is Broly.
Oh, you're right. The subset.
It's like a Namekian Goku vs. Freeza, so I'm hoping for some good ones there.
All right.
So our first card, really useful against a lot of low-cost cards. He is Goldo. He is a 1-drop. He's a blocker, which is huge because you need him for defense, and he taps a 2 or less battle card in play. So he's going to be used for multiple ways. He's also Freeza Army, so you can sack him after you use him if you need to.
Nice.
So you're taking out, hopefully, one of their cards because, again, you don't want to attack their leader. You want to be swinging at their battle cards, clearing the board out. But aside from that, that's all he really does. You have your 1-drop. This is definitely one of the worst searchers, but you need it. It is a 1-drop 5k Freeza Army. Searches the top 3 for a 2 or less Freeza Army. Very constrictive, but it gets you pretty much everything that's important in the deck. You have Cold Bloodlust. I don't think this needs an explanation. No one likes the card. It shuts down your opponent's cards. Keeps you going to the late game.
Yep.
You have Flying Nimbus, again, a well-known, hated yellow card.
And these are all 4-ofs, right?
Yes, all 4-ofs, sorry. Yeah, 4 Goldos, 4 Freezas, 4 Bloodlust, 4 Nimbus. Nimbus is a strong negate. If you discard an additional yellow card, which we will see is important later on, you can only let your opponent attack 1 more time with the battle card. Again, helps you get through that the storm decks or any of the red decks that really are aggressive. You have 4 of Destructive Occupation Freeza. He is the combo card that comes in tapped. He's a Freeza Army. You can get him in there. He can get you some cool combos because you can untap 2 later on by spending 1. Kind of like a Sensu Bean to an extent.
Yeah.
But you are, dropping a card in the drop. Another 1-drop searchable off of your Freeza. Sorbet. He's a 1-drop blocker, Freeza Army. The second effect is a once-in-a-blue-moon effect I use. You discard a card, you look at the top 2, you can combo with 2 Freeza Army in there. Otherwise, they go straight to the drop. Really risky, only if you need it, absolutely necessary. This is a recent addition to the deck to help with Self-Awakening. Though you are attack-a-lock, you do have some decks that don't attack you. Bardock, Progenitor, drop, 1-drop, take a life. You can swap, which is leading into our Gotens.
Now this is what I like. This is some nice spice here.
The issue with this deck is you don't have a lot of targeted search because this only takes 2 or lesses. This really helps you get around that. And then you have the blockers to protect him.
Yes.
Because you do need him to get through early on. you just keep swapping and playing them. There are turns I've just played this like 3 times in a row just to awaken because, you know, you need to.
Yeah.
You have, these are 3s each. I'm considering putting a 4th in. They're not necessary is the problem. So you don't want to play too many, especially on the Bardocks, because at a point they're absolutely worthless.
Yeah.
I have 3 Explosive Spirit Son Goku. Yes,
Nice.
I play this card as a hard cast a lot, which most people don't. Shugesh is in the deck, which we'll see in a minute, but he's a 3-of. He can extend a lot of plays, especially with Goldo tapping cards, key cards. A lot of people playing Goten. It's a free kill on him. If they got something else tapped, he's a 10k that untaps every turn. He's pretty good. He's a blocker, barrier, important part. So you can get through certain things like U7 Frieza's tap down ability.
Exactly.
We have 1 Shugesh for the blowout surprise extravaganza for Explosive Spirit. Happens sometimes. I try to hold it off in game 1 if it's a set of 3, but otherwise very strong, but not always necessary.
Yeah.
Other super combos, 3 Dodorias, searchable off of your Avenging Frieza, which is why it's very good. So it's a searchable super combo.
Yep.
But aside from that, it's normal. I'm playing 2 Clan of Terror Mecha Friezas. It's a 4-drop double striker Frieza army, so you can sack it to your leader. He takes a card from your opponent's hand, and you can choose to play it if you want. Otherwise, you can see your opponent's hand. It has not done a lot for me. I am probably going to board it and then put in bad ring lasers because that was a problem for me today.
Yeah.
You getting your Nimbus negated against Storm is really rough.
So you might as well bad ring them right back.
Correct. The other thing with this though is I did kill a Storm deck by playing their own Bardock, which was very nice.
Yes. And guys, that is a legal play because we had like a little controversy.
There's a whole thing. We'll see in set 5 if they change the rulings, but who knows?
It works just like that. He literally, same thing with Chain Attack Zeno. If you grab a Zeno with his effect, you Zeno the whole board. And now it's a reset.
True. So here's where the end game to this is.
Hopefully this is the goodies.
So everything, all these cards are to help you set up for your turn 4 into turn 5.
Okay.
You want to at least have 1 to 2 Frieza army on board on turn 4, in addition to playing this card, Overpowering King Cold. He is a 4-drop. He is a 20k single striker. His ability is all 5-drop Frieza clans cost 2 less. Or 5 or more cost 2 or less. He's a 4-of. You want to see him turn 4. Biggest thing with him, you want to drop him turn 4 and be able to sack something to keep 2 energy up. Hopefully, honestly, hopefully a Nimbus and a Bloodlust is the optimal turn 4 hand. But you got to keep it what you can. Sometimes it's just one or the other. Sometimes you just have blockers on board. The big thing that goes into him is you have your 2 endgame cards. I'm playing 4 Frieza, Emperor of Universe 7, and 3 Cooler, Blood of the Tyrant Clan. Now these 2 cards are very synergistic. 7-drop Frieza. He is, a lot of people don't know about him. EX Evolve is irrelevant in this deck at least, but it's a...
He'll just hard cast it or use it for free.
Correct. His ability, he's a triple striking 30k. He's a 7-drop. His permanent effect is whenever your opponent activates any counters, any autos, or any activate effects that are not keywords, they have to take a critical life or the effect is negated. Very strong, very deadly, because again, most people put themselves to 4-3 at the end of the game.
Exactly.
Now I play 4 of these because this is definitely one I want to do turn 5. Your cold makes them cost 2 less, so they're 5 drops.
5 drops.
So you're going in turn 5. If you have a Frieza army, you get to keep up 2 energy. And this out on board, which again, you're keeping a Bloodlust or Nimbus, your opponent's really not in a good spot.
No, and it's very hard to actually kill the King Cold because basically Bloodlust will save him if they have a kill spell.
That is the biggest reason to keep up the energy. You want a Bloodlust and to be able to protect him. Now, I play 3 Cooler Blood of Tyrant clans. They are also Frieza Frieza clan. Because of that, they become a 7 to a 5 because of King Cold. He's a 30k double striker, but his ability is extremely important. The reason you want to discard these early on to your Nimbuses or Negates or even Sorbet if you need to get it through.
Yeah.
You can exile one of your cards. It doesn't go to the warp. It goes into its own zone.
Okay.
You tap down 2 of your opponent's cards, and you get to take any Frieza clan that's not this card into play.
Amazing.
So you can put this into play on the same turn. You have 5 power minimally, not including your 20k and your leader.
Oh my.
So now you have 7 power minimally on attacking, damage-wise, I should say. And anytime they negate, anytime they use a super combo, anytime they use any activate effect, they take a life critically. Otherwise, the effect is negated and they do not get the card. It's extremely rough to deal with. If they're at 4, I'll generally try to swing once or twice, put them to 3. Then you swing with your triple striker, put them to 2 even if they negate it. If they don't negate it, you just kill them with a triple striker. Then they're at 2. If they don't have another gate, you got double striking 30k coming. It's really rough. You tap down their blockers. But a lot of people put a lot of blockers out. You tap 2 of them down with this card. You don't get to do anything. Even if they've got combo cards like Boo or 1-drop Goku to get with Universe 7, you're tapping them down, they can't combo with them anymore.
Nope.
The deck runs very consistently. Very rarely do I have rough patches. You know, it happens. Every deck has it.
Every deck has,
you know,
yeah.
Sometimes you just don't draw the correct cards.
Yeah.
But what's really fun about it is that because you're playing these 11 blockers, even if you do have a rough early game, you're able to kind of come back with these and protect yourself. Correct. The Nimbuses are extremely strong. This card is very good, but you don't want to tap out a lot. So this might come down to a 2 or 3 of, and I might switch a few cards around. But very, very honestly, the deck is very consistent with what it does.
All right, now your thoughts on the expansion. Actually, there was a Freeza that came out. I'm not sure if he's Frieza's army, but he came with the Vegito, the one that gains the buff.
He is definitely a contender. He is a Freeza army, so you can stack him if you need to. So the thing with that is he's still a 3-drop.
Okay.
So the only way I kind of see him coming in is maybe removing these cards, which I don't really want to. The issue with him is, you know, what turn 3 play is better. I gotta really test with him. The 15k isn't, like as a defense, isn't as strong. You're not playing Sensu Beans. You're not playing any permanent effects, which is rough. So he's gonna be hard to protect. He might just die in one hit, which you might as well have a blocker. At least this has barrier. They both have barrier actually.
Yeah.
But this can attack their cards. That's the biggest thing. And it
that
untaps. Right.
Yep.
And you choose what you're blocking. That's the big thing. They're going to be attacking it. It's a rough thought. I might play it. The big cards I'm excited for in set 5 are the SPR or the SR Freeza. That he's a 3-drop. You only have 1 on board at a time. I think he's 15k.
Oh yeah.
But you frost one of their cards every turn, which is huge.
Yeah.
Ignoring barrier. So those cards that were an issue that you can't tap down, irrelevant now.
He becomes like the 5-drop Freeza, the one that you go into.
Right,
this
but you don't
one.
have to discard cards. Yeah, you don't have to discard cards to get the effect. Just every turn you just go tap that down, tap that down, tap that down, and it's gonna let you take care of cards. This will be extremely strong because of that, because it destroys a tapped battle card.
That's pretty nice. You just keep them stuck.
I'm gonna probably play 2 to 3 of him because you can only have 1 on board at a time, and I don't intend to attack with him that often. He has a secondary effect only usable if your leader's a Senron. It's very strong because it just hits them for 1, I believe, or 2.
It's a free damage
just
if
takes
they
damage.
meet the requirement.
But you need 7 in your drop, and your opponent has to have 7 cards tapped, and you need to have a Wish Leader, which doesn't work with this deck, unfortunately. It would have to be an entirely different build.
Yeah.
There was a card a lot of people were talking about. There's a 1 or a 2-drop that when you KO this card, you get to put a 3-drop Freeza into play. It was interesting, but because this doesn't actually KO your card, it's just place it in your drop. That's what this reads. Place one of your Freeza army in your drop, not KO it. It doesn't work with this. So that really sucks because I was really excited for that and then realized you can't use it with this effect.
No, a lot of things are very like keyword specific.
Right, which was very depressing.
Yeah. Well, just for a few other notes, the 2 Arudagon decks that he played against, which I'm pretty sure most of you will be excited to hear, was against Eric and Eon, the Hill Twins.
Yes, I had to play both of them.
And he had to play both of them, and it's not, it's definitely not a walk in the park. It's very difficult.
I beat Eric through some shenanigans. It was definitely a rough match.
Yeah.
I had some good games. We had really good games, me and Aeon, but one game I forgot to charge, which really ruined my life. And one game I didn't discard a card to Nimbus, which let him go off because it's Storm, and I should have just discarded.
I heard that actually. I was
definitely
playing in a match.
The biggest problem with this deck, I have to say, is you will lose to yourself more often than losing to your opponent because you'll have all the outs, you'll just do the wrong thing.
Which is actually not bad, guys, because that just tells you that this deck is very strong. But again, it just requires you playing tight.
It does not allow any mistakes at all.
Especially when you're going against aggro, like what he was just saying.
The Storm decks are extremely difficult. You have to be able to deal with them. That's one reason I want to put in bad ring lasers because I Nimbus and they Riot Ring Laser me, and then that's it. You can't do anything.
So it's
You're
like
just done. Yeah. Done. So I'm considering playing that in the main too.
Nice.
But it's a lot of fun, especially if you're interested in control and you just don't want to have these like have to attack every turn decks.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun like that to be able to kind of sit back and not have to worry about attacking your opponent's leader. And if they don't have Self-Awakening, you're just allowed to set up. That's the best part. You
That
just
is
set
the
up.
best part.